Hi, my lovely Libras. Welcome to your reading for July 2020. This is going to be for Libra Sun, Moon, or Rising, or any other planets you may have in the sign of Libra. This is also for those who are intuitively guided, because your spirit guides nudged you to it. Just means there's a message here for you. You may be in love with a Libra in love with you, I hope. So whatever the reason, whatever brought you to this reading, thank you for paying attention to your intuition and listening. Clearly there'll be a message here. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to just calm our minds. Just do a little deep breathing in through the nose. Inhale positivity. And exhale the negativity. You want to release the outcome on how something must look to you. And the reason why is it usually comes in a better package than you expected. Talking about love, it can mean that I'm putting all my effort into one person when there's love down the road that probably would fulfill me more. So paying attention to your intuition is going to be important. We are in Mercury Retrograde, and I'm just going to pray that this video it shoots well and it uploads well, because I have had nothing but problems since I knew it was Mercury Retrograde. I had to look it up just to make sure, and it is till July, early July. So what does that mean? That means your electronics can be affected. I believe there's 6 planets in retrograde, but you being air, you want to be careful in a Mercury retrograde with things that you might say that you can regret. So we got to keep our tempers, right? I feel like this is everybody, really. Be careful what we say. Know what we say. Look at that, we have the wheel. Destiny. But it's also about, sometimes this is when the hangman is important, like hanging back for a moment, because if, sometimes we're meant to go forward when things aren't clear. We're meant to experience it. We're meant to discover it. But other times, if we're not certain about, if we're about to, let's say, sign a contract, but we're not certain about the language in the contract, that's when the hangman would say, hang back for a minute. Let Mercury, going through its retrograde, and when it comes back, then take another look at it. That type of thing. All right, guys, so we're going to start with the major arcanas. I wanted 3. I got 3. That makes me happy. And then we'll add some other tarot into it. So, I welcome everyone. I'm glad you listened to your guides, and I certainly invite my guides in, along with yours, to help us with the most clarity that we can have. I mean, after all, I feel like that is who's bringing us these messages, and our job is just to discover them. Okay, we have the Empress. And then we have the World. And the World has been showing up in just about everyone's reading. That tells me, well, the world is changing. I'm looking at the wheel and the world. We have both are turning, right? And the Empress in between these two feels to me like, this is a period where I need to be the Empress within myself. What does that mean? That means I stay strong. So something may be changing that requires you to stay strong, but also to stay in your loving nature, right? Some of you may find yourself at this time, and I feel like this is for a while, at least through the summer, where you're helping others that are in some type of distress, and you have the ability. We all have the ability, but there's something about you who's watching. No matter who you are and what sign you are, if you're watching, I feel like it's talking to you. And it feels like there's a lot of people helping, right? So I can either sit back and do nothing, or I can bring out my love, because really that's what we want to expand. Love. We want to expand that, not just for a romantic partner, but also for our soul brothers and sisters, right? We have the star underneath, which is about your hopes. It tells you to stay hopeful. It's about connecting. I feel it's about the connection to everything, and creating something through that, which then becomes my dream. I could simply say it's about your dreams coming true, but I feel like there's been a whole process behind this, right? Like, I form it in my mind, I build it in my heart. This may be something that I've been working on for a while. I nurture it. So almost like that seed of intention. So nurturing it, so that when it comes to you, which it certainly looks like it is, you are at your best to receive it. I don't know if I've ever explained the star that way before, but that's how I feel it today. You know what? I'm going to use the good tarot for you. I always I don't know, there's something about the good tarot and Libra. I always like connecting the two. Okay. Some of you may be getting pregnant, and I don't think this is, it could be like a surprise. There's nothing really here that says surprise, but it is something that you had wanted. So this is not about unwanted pregnancies. This is that, you definitely wanted this pregnancy, and it feels good. With the wheel coming out first, I feel like whatever changes are coming up for you, don't fear them. Like, there's no need to fear them. Even if they may look scary for a second, don't fear them. Because I feel like whatever that is, like, you're more than qualified. I don't know why I'm using the word qualified, to handle. So I feel like what's happening is, like, dreams coming true, but they're coming true looking different than what I expected. Okay. I feel like, they're looking at that wheel and they have blindfolds on. It's like, it feels like taking a chance, wherever it lands on is, if it's a location, is where I go, or, that type of thing. So it's like almost like answering where I'm going to go next. Excuse me, I had a card fall. And look at that. It's the wheel again. Okay. Oh, so we have the Eight of Cups, which was hidden under the Nine of Swords. So let's look at that for a second. Eight of Cups is about your emotional house. I just noticed, look at that treasure chest. And his back, well, I feel like his back is to the cups, which tells me I'm walking out of that energy. This is getting my emotional houses in order. Now, some of you, though, with the Nine of Swords attached to that, look at that 8, 9. If I'm not getting my emotional house in order, it can move me. It's almost like I'm walking right into the Nine of Swords willingly. And this is the energy of anxiety, of being in one's head, It's not that, it's not that maybe you're trying to figure something out, but you're over analyzing it. This is about unnecessary fear, although it's still there, right? It's all in the head. It's all in my mind. It's in my thoughts. And it's showing us it's due to emotional things that have happened in your life, right? This is emotional. So let's keep going. We have the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This can be you. Probably is partly you. And then we have the Wheel again. I feel like someone is leaving. Someone is going away. And they're going away because there's something that they want out there. It's something they want to chase out there or create. And I feel like it requires someone to, when I say walk away, I just mean like, I'm changing journeys now. It's almost like this King of Swords, like, let's just say it's my father, that type of energy, and it's time for me to go and chase my dreams, right? Chase my dreams because they're on the horizon. Here's the world. So I feel like, and I'm using father as an example, though for some of you it probably is your father. But I definitely feel like, that's what the anxiety is about. It's about chasing my dreams, and it feels like because I do that, because, if I do that, if I decide to do that, it feels like it affects someone else. But I feel it's all in a loving type way, I have to tell you. Some of you may have been helping someone in something, and it's now time for you to go because it's, it's not about being selfish. It's about something else is out there that is calling you, definitely calling you with the Wheel here twice and the Star card. There's the Queen. Look at that. The Queen of Swords. So, if this is a male-female relationship, then it's clearly showing who's the one who's chasing the dream. The Queen. The Queen is. I'm just thinking, is this King afraid that this is what the Queen is going to do? She's going to go. It feels like almost like a committed relationship, and I'm feeling it both ways. And the King has this fear of his partner chasing their dreams because he knows that it requires, them to be either in a different place or a different headspace, or less, like I'm going to have to sacrifice our time together, something like that. But she definitely wants to do it. We have the Emperor. So now we have the Empress and the Emperor. Some of you are walking away from the family. But I have to tell you, this could be job related. I feel like the Emperor's coming out where it could be a boss who is saying to this Queen, I want to offer you something new, which is of your dreams, and the partner over here seems to be worried about the Emperor, the boss, like what's going on here. So the Queen is seeing it one way as opportunity, and I feel like it is opportunity, and the King is just worried about that. Is there an alternative motive, right, with the 8 of Cups right beside it? But I feel like this Queen is she's pretty strong. We have the World card again. Interesting. It's coming with the King of Swords above it and the Emperor beside it. And then we have, look at that, we have the Ace of Cups. So someone's feeling that someone is part of their destiny. This may be a decision. For some of you, this is a decision of who I'm going to be with, this person or this person. You know, some of you may be thinking about having an affair. By the way, as I say that, I want you to understand, I don't feel like, I don't feel like someone's, if you're a cross watcher, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't necessarily feel that, I feel like who's ever watching, you don't have to worry about that, but however, I feel like the energy's there. Some of you are falling in love with your boss. And you may be doing, you may end up doing something very creative together, because it's just wrapped around destiny. All right, let's bring the clarifiers out. We have the King of Fire on the bottom. So now we have the King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, like I always say, don't worry so much about if, you know, let's say your person's a Capricorn. That Capricorn can still be the King of Swords. It's the energy of the King of Swords. The Emperor, though, is a very strong energy. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Nonetheless, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is following the wheel. And what's above it? I'm sorry, it's following the world, and above it is Fortune's wheel. So, in no way do I feel that I have to fear this Ace of Cups. No doubt, we have the Star on the bottom of the card of the deck. So we're getting signs. Okay. You know, Libra, you're in your reading a lot here. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Empress coming over the Empress. And then we have the Two of Swords. So, interesting. This is about, I have a feeling for some of you, this is about doing something again. Doing something again, and maybe it didn't work the first time. However, there does seem to be like an emotional attachment to it, whether it be a person, a project, you know, whatever it is, there's an emotional connection here, and it's a hard one. You know, it's one that hurt you. Let's put it that way. It hurt you. It hurt your heart. So here it is, the wheel, bringing it back again. And you're here making a decision for some of you. You're making a decision. And no wonder the Two of Swords showed up with the Nine of Swords before. You know, Nine of Swords, I'm just in my head. I'm anxious. I'm overthinking. I'm fearing things that maybe I shouldn't. I'm building things up. And the Two of Swords is now I have to make a decision. Do I, over the world, do I allow myself to fall in love again with this person? It could just be a new person, but fall in love again. Do I allow myself to do that? It looks very good. It feels kind of like what's meant to be, right? Interesting. So, this sounds to me, even if I tell you it sounds good, it's reminding me of Mercury Retrograde. And what did I read? something. It was a very strange sentence, and it was like Mercury retrograde is, I forget what they said, but almost like testing you, right? Waiting, I don't want to say waiting for you to fail. No, 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 no. But testing you. And that's what the Two of Swords feels like here. Like, I feel like I'm being tested. I feel like I'm being tested. But what separates that is the Empress. First of all, I want to say, for someone, if I'm trying to make a decision, what I need to think about is, what would my mother do in this situation? Like, what would she do? So, because I feel like someone's got a mother who was, you know, took chances. And if I look up to her, I see a very strong, nurturing woman. Some of you, it is finding that within yourself, finding the Empress within yourself, right? Like, almost, I want to say, the first time, you know, if I look at, instead of being still emotionally hurt, if I look back, because 9 is about the reflection, if I look back, and I feel like if I'm thinking of going back with an ex, what I need to do is I need to reflect back, and I need to look at what went wrong, and I need to look at it with a very clear, intuitive mind, instead of a, you know, a hurt. I need to look at it a different way, because what I feel like is the opportunity feels legit, as long as we're aware of where we failed, or, you know, the last time we were together. So if we have two people who, you know, are willing to pull out that type of energy within themselves, then certainly this feels like it could work again. For maybe the first time was to teach us some hard lessons. Did we learn them? Did we learn them? Okay, let's keep going. I see where it's taking us. Don't always fear repeating something, as long as you can see. Sometimes you need to fail a couple times to get to, you know, the highest status, the energy. We have the 5 of Wands. So first of all, in the 8 of Cups, right? The 8 of Cups is where I'm also looking at my emotional house. I see the mess, right? I can see the mess, but I feel like within the 5 of Wands is very like-minded energy. So this feels to me like we each had our part in it, right? We each had our part in it. Or, you know, if you push that way, I'd push the same way. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, though. It is touching the star card. I just realized that. So maybe if that's what I need to look at. Wands, you know, fire could be the arguments that we had, and both wanting to be right, right? Being right was more important than anything. So now we learned that. But that's got to go, right? I feel like the stronger person is the person who can walk away or apologize or what have you. I mean, you know, I've learned that in my own life. People who just have to be right, it's not worth the fight. If I step down, perhaps they will too. Especially when you fall in love, right? You know just how to get someone, just how to hurt them. So, anyways, we have the 5 and the 5. Interesting. So the 5 of Cups is also talking about where I'm focusing. Yeah, I'm focusing on these cups that have spilled over. But the message within the 5 of Cups is that there's 2 more cups on the horizon. But what comes to me is what I focus on. So do I see these 2 new cups as an opportunity? Not an opportunity. Well, maybe an opportunity. Do I see them for what they are, which are bright and shiny and add to your fulfillment? Or do I keep my energy within, you know, feeling hurt over this? Because that Nine of Swords is there. And it's like sitting over the wheel. Now I'm looking at it like the wheel saying, hey, it's up to you. When you come into this next chapter, it's going to be up to you. Do you want to take this Nine of Swords with you, or do you want to get rid of it? And if your answer is I want to get rid of it, then it's saying, then reflect upon it. Reflect upon it without judgment. Don't put any judgment on yourself or another when I'm doing the reflection of trying to find the lesson within it, right? Come from your Empress energy or the Emperor energy, male or female. We have the Prince of Cups. So, the Prince of Cups is bringing in this cup. And it's quite interesting that the Nine of Swords, the Wheel. Do I do this again? Do I do this again? I would say right now, I don't feel like you're prepared to make a decision. But here it is. It doesn't matter if you're prepared or not. When it shows up, it shows up. Some of you, it is an Aries, a boss, that type of thing. Someone that feels that they have a lot of wisdom. Look at that. I have the Four of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So maybe we lived together before and we moved out, right? One moved out. Here's the world underneath that, coming over your energy or another Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, potentially. But it's also the energy of being in my head. So nonetheless, definitely feel like doing it, not doing it again. And I definitely feel that some of you lived with someone in a committed relationship, and I just don't feel like the love died. Maybe the relationship died, but I don't feel like the love died. Okay, let's keep going. There's the Hangman. Thank you. So it's like, just wait a minute. We have the Fool. So the Fool, I kind of like the Hangman and then the Fool right next to it. Because what it's saying is just hang back a second, give yourself a chance to have this reflection, and then make a decision, right? Then make a decision. The Hangman's pointing right up to the choice. But the Fool, let's talk about the Fool. The Fool has very clean, clear energy, is not carrying any baggage with him, right? So when the universe asks you, do you want to take that Nine of Swords with you? Or do you want to reflect upon it and leave it behind? This is you, those who said that, no, I'm going to go ahead and reflect upon it, and let's see what happens. So the Fool allows me to drop that baggage. I wouldn't be surprised if like a Six of Swords comes out. Okay, let's go. We have the Three of Swords coming over the Queen. We have the Seven of Swords coming next to the Emperor. So, can I trust you again? You hurt me one time. Can I trust you again? The Prince of Swords, are you telling me the truth? Right? Is this the truth this time? Wow, I am definitely feeling that. Listen, sometimes love is hard. And there are, especially if we're soulmates, we're here to teach each other. And sometimes we got to go through some hard things. And, I'm not saying, like, stay with narcissists and, if anybody abused you, go back with them. No, that's not what I'm saying. I think now most of you understand, like, what I'm saying. Because, Some people tell you don't ever take an old love back. Well, listen, they're wrong. I mean, they're right, but they're also wrong. I'm testament of that because I am living in my first love's home right now. I just moved in here a couple months ago, and you know, we did it. We were together before, but we're both of us were willing to like look at our parts. It took us a while. It took us a couple years to, and this was like phone conversations, just talking and talking and talking. Um, and then getting in fights and hanging up, and but it's like we worked it out over the phone. Interesting. When I bring my personal stories into a reading, I know my guides let me know that there's someone else going through something that I've already gone through, and that's why I bring it up. We have the Eight of Cups. I feel like you want to know if someone has done their own work, what they needed to do to clear their own emotional house. Listen, I feel like if there's any attachment to someone else here, if this other person has an attachment, I feel like I'm saying you handle your shit first, and then we'll talk. Then, right? Maybe that is your answer. Because I feel like with the Fool, both need to come to the table that way. Okay. Anyway, we have the Sun, which is beautiful, lovely energy. Energy of Leo also. We have the Princess, the Princess of Swords. We have the Magician. And we have the Ace of Swords. So I have to tell you, I do feel like for the majority, this person is telling the truth. And I feel like what it's saying to you with the Princess of Swords in reverse over the Seven of Swords, next the Prince of Cups, and then the Nine of Swords, is just, I don't want to say be careful what you say, but I think you could, that tells you if you want to like really scream at someone, then that tells you that there's still something going on that hasn't been cleared, right? The pain, maybe. But nonetheless, I feel like the Princess of Swords in reverse over the Seven is a little leery, again, of this offer, because I don't know whether I can trust it. I don't know whether I can trust you. I feel like something comes in like through communication. It may be maybe outside your home. I don't know. This is someone who could be from like your hometown. You could certainly be like from the same hometown, or you had very similar childhoods, that type of thing. And for some of you, maybe, well, the Sun is, I have good memories about this. And the Ace of Swords is like pointing right to the Ace of Cups. The Magician over the world. Let's talk about that for a second. The Magician is about creating, right? I don't feel like, he can be tricky energy. The Ace of Swords, the Princess of Swords right next to him, right? Again, I don't know if you're just tricking me, but really what I'm feeling is this is more about I can create this next chapter, which is the world, twice. I can, and it's answering a question of this Two of Swords. I'm in my head over here. Well, the Magician is completely different energy. This is where I'm creating. It's also saying be careful. If you're in your head, like with the Two of Swords and Nine of Swords, you're still creating. You're just creating in a different way, right? You're creating in a different way. You may be building a wall around yourself as you're creating when you're in that type of energy. But when I'm in a positive energy and I'm creating, well, that expands. and expands and expands, you know. So consider that. And then this Ace of Swords right over the Ace of Cups. I mean, you know, it's like the truth. This is the truth. This can be worked out. It takes, you know, it did take work, and it still might take work. Each needing to make sure, because again, I feel like each had their part, each reflecting back and being able to see where the mistakes were, right? Not denying, seeing them, not in a judgmental way. So I can, you know, if it's an action I did or they did, I can see the root of it. And when I see the root of it, then I can eliminate it. I almost feel like I'm weeding a garden, and if I get the root of that weed, well, then that weed doesn't get to, it won't grow back, right? If I just get the top of it, but leave the root, it's just going to come back again. It'll just come back again. So it becomes really up to me to create the world the way I want it. I have the Ace of Cups, but I also have the Eight of Cups, right? It really is up to me. Always has been, always will be. Okay, I don't feel like this reading is over. However, we're going to pick these cards up. Interesting. Empress is on top. How much time? Okay. I'm going to, I'm just going to do random. I'm going to random places. I'm going to look at the world. Well, I should look at the wheel, because it's here twice. Well, so is the world. But the wheel's first, so let's just do the wheel. Look what comes up, the world card. So we have the Two of Wands. We have the Eight of Wands. And then we have the world card. So, you know, I feel like this is someone willing to step on this path with the Two of Wands. This tells you that this is a passionate, that this next period can be very passionate. And I like that the 8 is there, because I feel the equalness of the 4 and the 4. Does that make sense? Like, I feel the equalness of that 4 and 4, so I feel like both can, right? Maybe it's how I look at it. Here I have a blindfold on. Two of Wands, I don't. Two of Wands, I'm, you know, I want to do it. There's this 2. I like that. And it's a new chapter with the world. It's a new chapter. I like how things are being repeated here. Interesting. Now, the one thing I am noticing also is, you know, maybe this offer comes in quickly, right? The 8 of Wands is about quick moving action. I also feel the action of what I think about, I bring about. And if that's the case, then I want to be in the 2 of Wands versus the 2 of Swords. I want to be in my heart center. Anyway, because of how the 8 of Wands comes in, it can be chaotic, right? It can be the 2 of Wands. I mean, the 2 of Swords. But it can be chaotic. So give it a minute. Let it settle down. Right? Let it settle down. It's funny how I was talking about Mercury testing us. For some of you, you might be testing them. You know, or you should. But remember though, you've got to get out of the head space and into the heart space. And I mean in your intuition. That's how you're going to know for sure. That's how you know for sure. Right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. You know, God didn't create us perfect. We're imperfect human beings. So, I don't know. I don't know why you just said that, other than we can't expect someone else to be perfect unless we're perfect. Okay. funny how the Empress is now touching the Two of Wands, because again, I feel the energy of someone who had great influence over me. I looked up to. This may be someone in spirit. Doesn't necessarily have to be my mother, but this is someone who, you know, I looked up to. Someone I feel like is your grandma, and I feel like she was a, what's the word I want to use? Like a, God, almost like she was an explorer. That's not the word I was looking for, but it'll do. So I feel like anyways, there is that influence, right? Now that's a good thing. And they're attached to the star on the other side. Interesting. Okay, we have the Three of Wands. I don't know why I got so many cards here. So this is saying yes, right? This is beginning that journey. We have the Princess of Pentacles, potential Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. She's a seeker of knowledge, right? She wants to, for some of you, if this is an opportunity that shows to allows you to build something, I definitely feel like you will say yes to it. Don't let the fear overtake it. With the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Right next to the Princess. Listen to that. And all of a sudden, the doves started cooing. So, for some of you, this is, you know, I think the question here is, are both of you solid? If you feel solid, do it. Because it shows you doing it. After the world is the Three of Wands. Now you are into the Wands journey. Who? This couple. This could talk about someone a little bit younger and someone is older, right? Again, we have Pentacles, so I know some of you, maybe you met through work, or you do work together, or you could also work together. Don't forget that. Okay, look at that. Ace of Cups. Well, what can I say? We have the Five of Swords coming over the Nine of Swords. So, I want you to look at this card. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, by the way, coming over you, or another air sign. But look at the Five of Swords here. What I keep noticing this month in the Five of Swords is how this person is lying down here on the ground, right? In the same formation as how the swords are placed. So, to me, it feels like, you know, yes, I was a victim, but now, you know, am I still playing the victim role when really there's nothing holding this person back? The only thing that's holding this person back is the person, right? The refusal to stand up. So, again, a 5. So, it talks about change. You know, change what? Change that. Change my mentality where, you know, I feel like the victim. And stand within my power instead, right? You know, the courage, standing up, right? Standing up, awareness of, not playing the victimhood. And it's over the Nine of Swords, and there is that excess worry that it's talking about. There it is. You know, I feel like some of you are getting very clear answers here. Because as long as I play that part, and it is a part, you know, like we have a choice not to, right? We always have the choice of being positive or negative. No matter what's going on, we still, because this is our lives, you know, individual. Anyway, but the Ace of Cups is right there. And for some of you, it is, you know, starting this business. But the Nine of Pentacles talks about success. You may be doing really well. You know, you may be into your own thing when this offer arrives, because then we have the will again. So here, I feel like a lot of you are becoming successful, and that may be more about this part of, you know, your material world, but the emotional world, you know, maybe you haven't even been focusing on it. And that's what I feel like. This is that unexpected type of energy because, boom, there's the wheel. There's sometimes change. So let's look at it. It's funny, I wasn't going to do all the cards, and here I am doing all the cards again. So what am I doing? I'm repeating myself. Interesting. I have the Nine of Cups. Well, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups together are beautiful energy. I mean, you know, this is self-fulfillment and I independently can take care of myself. And I'm not saying it to be like egotistical. It's just a fact, right? There's something that you're good at. You're good at it. And therefore, you'll be successful at it. And it gives you fulfillment. For a lot of you, I do feel like it must be talking about, you know, maybe even a promotion. Maybe I have a business and now someone gives me this offer to join them. And like right now, I don't know. I feel like it's a personal choice. You know, you'll just, you know, I think I'll leave it at a personal choice. Two nines. Look at that. Two nines together. We have the Star. You know, I feel like for someone, you were together when you were younger, but there's something that you know, there was a dream that you had that was just more important. And I don't want to say more important than a person I loved, but it was something you knew that you had to do. I definitely feel that. And I felt like you're meant to do that. And then, and that could even be marrying, you know, getting married to someone else, having a family with someone else. I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know. I guess it's happening. But nonetheless, I feel like, you know, let's say I feel like a country singer all of a sudden. Like always wanted to be a country singer. And it was like in my very soul. However, you know, here's this couple up here of yesteryear, but somebody's saying, no, I have to chase this. I have to go after it. And, you know, maybe it worked out. I feel like it brought enough to make you happy. Okay. Nonetheless, we have the Star coming out again right over you. We have the Princess of Cups. So she's a receiver of this energy. Again, didn't we already have her? She's a receiver of it. For some of you, it is your own business with the Emperor, right? You are the Emperor, male or female, doesn't matter. I'm seeing it, right? You can certainly do this if it's been a question, and you will have fulfillment. I promise. But let's keep going. Because she does have the Five of Swords above her. And she's also got the Nine of Swords above her. But she wants it because the Star is right there. We have the Hermit. And we have the Ten of Cups. Look at that. You know, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't want to turn this into a love reading. I don't know why I didn't want to. But it's turning into one hell of a love reading, to be honest. Really quite a beautiful love reading because, you know, I feel like, look at the synchronicities. The Nine of Cups going into the Ten of Cups with the Ace of Cups. Right? Sometimes I'm meant to go chase my own dreams. And that's an important part of your journey. And then come together. And then come together, right? But it's like, I don't know. I definitely feel that. Why am I using so many cards for you guys? So let's look at this. We have, first of all, the Hermit that's coming over the World Cup. That's the card of Virgo. Doesn't have to be, you know that. But this is that deep, deep look at my journey. This is what the Emperor's doing. I'm expanding. I want to learn. I want to understand through the Hermit. And I find what I'm seeking in the Hermit. This is about where I feel like my light is dim. And sometimes that's the only way we get to the Hermit is, something has to be shooken up. And it's like, then we start to look inside. The Hermit's really looking inside. And it's important. Because what do when I emerge from the cage, my lantern is now fully lit and I'm shining my light, right? So others receive me in that way. Some of you, this is spiritually based business, like, yes, 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 yes. It's just here. And listen, you can only do what you do because you've had the experiences that you've had. That's how you shine your light on others. Now, the Hermit is shining the light on the Ten of Cups. So, here comes the offer with the Queen, or the Princess, right? Here comes that offer. But I have the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords together. Heavy, heavy energy. But it doesn't matter. It's coming quickly. It doesn't really matter. It's almost like the universe, like, I don't care if you're ready or not. Maybe it is a test. The Hangman says hang back for a second, right? Hang back. It might be till Mercury goes direct. And then you have the Two of Wands, right? So we've had the reflection. You've had the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups. First, we have the first Ace of Cups is over our emotional house, the Eight of Cups. Do I look at those cups and understand why they have fallen over? Why the love has spilled out? Have I done that? Have they done that? Because that's important. That's probably the most important part about this, right? Because I feel like if there's a lesson, that's it. The Hermit going right into the Ten of Cups, and Ten of Cups right over the Ace of Cups. And no matter how I look at it, you're around it. So, the Star. You have the Star, what, 3 times? The cards that are repeating themselves are beautiful energy. But ultimately, I feel like it's saying this is your decision, right? This is your decision. Just don't be in your head. Because it is of your seed, I feel like. I feel like it is of your seed, which tells me that, here's the Star. Ace of Cups in between. We're very much alike. We may be the same sign. But, each has to be aware. Nobody can play the victim here. Because then it will just, the same thing will repeat, right? Same thing will just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. It's almost like that you are being tested. But this time, what it's showing, based on how we handle this can be it, right? I mean, the Ten of Cups with the Ace of Cups and the Hermit, we're very much wiser than we were, right? We're very much wiser than we were. But don't let anybody move you too quickly. You move at your own pace, but just be aware of your energy and, I just want to take one more card. Alright, I wanted to look between this couple, Princess of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Again, it doesn't have to be Earth. But I feel like there's a little bit of age difference. And I don't know, they were calling to me. So I got to Six of Wands. Six of Wands is where I feel like whoever it is that is asking for this next, right, to do this again, I feel like they're able to let you see and hear what you need to, I do feel like, go forward. But again, that's up to you. But I feel like you receive what you need. And I feel like it's coming from them. It's almost like, I don't want to say persuading you, because I don't want you to feel persuaded. But they can show you, like, almost like facts of what I have learned. I don't know. Whatever it is that you need to have the energy of fulfillment within your own belief system, right? They're able to develop that. They're able to give that to you. I don't know. They're able to give that to you. I feel like this is also them understanding you much better. You know, how? Because and I think they've done their own reflection. They've seen their own part, right? So they know how they treated you, you know, and so forth and so forth. That didn't make sense. Anyway, I kind of love this, guys. This is just about, if I'm going to do it again, then have that reflection. That's the one thing the hangman, I think, is saying. Have the reflection, even when it comes to business, right? Even when it comes to business. I have to say, though, for some of you, why have you gone through so much of this mental energy? I feel like it is part of you, because then I feel like you have the awareness over it. So it's you perhaps helping others. And I knew I felt that energy of helping others early in your reading. So some of you, it's through your business, and it is based upon your own wisdom, upon your own. Here's the Nine of Cups, right? But here's the Eight of Cups. So that feels very successful. Some of you could be working together, right? Bringing a partner in. That feels very successful, but that feels like, all of this feels like it's going to be up to me, and whether I can move out of my headspace, especially with retrograde, and maybe understand. As long as I have the understanding, which is exactly what the Hermit is, then the Ten of Cups is there, and the Ten of Cups is harmony, peace, love, beautiful family for some. This gives opportunity, not opportunity, potential of, how we all look at certain things, like, again, not that I like talking about myself, but, I am kind of now living my dream of the person. And, he does little things like yesterday I was reading for Virgo, and in the middle of it, he brought me these roses. There were two. So I feel like, and I mean, at one time I thought, he'll never change. You know what I mean? But that's, I think, what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, and we're going to pull an oracle card. I know this sounds a little confusing, or may sound confusing. I get it. Because I feel like you're in the energy of a little confusion. Alright, let's do a Mother Mary card. We got 2 cards. We have trust. And we have boundaries. Let's read. Makes perfect sense to me. Just the word trust and then boundaries. Boundaries to me just feel like kind of like what the hangman is saying. But let's read. Trust. You ask this question because you desire reassurance that everything is going to be okay. This card asks you to trust that indeed it will be. By relaxing with faith and trusting in God's infinite intelligence, you open the doorway to the answers to your prayers. In this way, you are more receptive to hearing heavenly guidance, which gives you intuitive instructions about which action steps to take. As you take them, you bring about divine results. This card promises you a favorable resolution to your current situation, even if it differs from your expectations. Mother Mary lovingly asks you to step out of the way so that God's handiwork has room to enter. Surrender any fears, worries, or desires to control the outcome. Trust in God's wisdom and love. Beautiful. Boundaries. Since God doesn't make victims, this card asks you not to act like one in any way. This is a message of self-empowerment. Instead of blaming others passively, convey your expectations and true feelings to them. Stand up for yourself, even if you risk conflict and confrontation. You can ask God, Jesus, and Mother Mary to guide your words so that you maintain your boundaries from a standpoint of love instead of fear. Others will respect you for being assertive, and you will respect yourself more too, because you're treating yourself lovingly. Beautiful. Alright guys, I'm going to leave your message there. Some way and somehow your title's going to be about doing it again. This all feels very, I feel like if the reflection is done, I just feel good about your future. I really do. I love that trust and boundaries came out as your major energy of how to live the life of your dreams. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your continued support of my channel through your donations, through your shares, your comments, for listening. Sometimes you don't have the money for a donation. Listening to the ads can help. I don't know. It does in some way. But whatever. I do this because I love you guys. I feel like you are my soul family and brothers, and we're here to help each other. And we are living similar lives, right? Different experiences. But I feel like, that love for one another is there. So thank you so much, Libra. And those who their spirit guides just nudged them, thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.